Hey everybody. I know it's weird to think of these videos as ambitious, but this will be the most ambitious video I've made just because it's not in reference to the fan home collection specifically. Someone asked and someone else asked about the books I keep, not quite humble bragging about, just I have in the background. So I figured I'd go through my whole collection as quickly as possible. And I should start out by saying two things. One, you're going to see a lot of loose comics. These are comics that I plan to have bound at some point, and they were in boxes, and then they were in piles, and then I thought I'll put them on the shelf. And if you're wondering, how do I keep them from flapping over, falling into the back? How do I keep them straight? I'm still working on that. I don't know an answer. I don't have an answer. It's kind of a nightmare. This was a terrible idea, but so you're going to see that. Also, I started collecting during the pandemic. I'd been a comic reader before that, but I really started collecting. And then I moved my office into the basement. I work remotely, so I moved my office into the basement when we decided to have another kid because we need the space for the kid. So, so I made a little nook down here. It's not finished, and it's a little cramped. So I decided this is it. These shelves are going to be it. Anything I want needs to fit in these shelves. It needs to be the best thing I've ever read, the thing I like the most. Let's put a pin in that, okay? Because we're going to come back to that. It's not working out great. I'm still trying to curate the collection. So we'll move right down the line. So the 2000 AD collections, Alias, and then sort of Jessica Jones spinoffs. All the stuff you see here is, I think, all Archie stuff that I'm going to have bound at some point. Afterlife of Archie is here. Astonishing X-Men. This is a custom bind set of the Astro City books that I bought on eBay. Thrilled with those. What we have so far, Fan Home. The very limited collection of Batman stuff. I have mostly the Scott Snyder stuff, the Frank Miller stuff, a few assorted things. I really like the Sean Murphy collection for the art. And that's it. This is a neat little volume. At some point, I'll probably make a video for every custom set if I keep doing this. This is Betty Page. Don't knock it until you've read it. It's surprisingly good. This I can't speak to, but these are all by David Avallone, and they're really good. Well, most of them are by David Avallone. Bone, Black Science, past that. Books of Magic, the new Books of Magic. Charity, which is essentially porn. I have not read it. I haven't even really flipped through it. That was kind of a nutty decision. And now my dryer's thumping. So glad I'm doing this. This is Cinema Purgatorio, and then this is all of the Lovecraft Alan Moore comics. Dead Boy Detectives, Die. Yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula, drawn by Mike Mignola. Not really a comic, but drawn. 8 Billion Genies. I don't remember what this is. Elvira, David Avallone. This is where I started with David Avallone, which led to Betty Page. Earth by Garth Ennis. Children's book, obviously. This is one of my favorite custom sets. This is chronologically all of the Fables comics. So every spinoff, Fairest, all the Cinderella stuff. There's another guy in a Facebook group who's making a custom set that I'm very impressed with. I almost wish I'd gone in that direction, but I didn't. So I'll show these off at some point too. I'm waiting on the last 2 volumes now. Oh, before we head down, limited collection of manga. I haven't read Pokemon. It's been out since I was a kid. Same with Dragon Ball. I just started reading it. That's as far as I've gotten. I've been collecting the small digest DC books as well. Scary, Sex Castle, Star Trek Lower Decks. I collect all the Star Trek comics now. Superman Smashes the Klan, and I've never read Isagi Yojimbo, so that's volume 1. Give it a shot. Penthouse Comics, which don't knock it until you've read it. The art is great. Stories aren't bad. This is the original. I've been collecting it because they're hard to find and I needed something else to go after I got all of the Eagle Moss Star Trek and Savage Dragon. They're expensive. It takes a while. I don't have them all yet. The new Penthouse Comics suck. The art is The stories are awful. This is Distillery. So I thought it would be fun to collect all of something, and I figured Distillery wouldn't last as long as it has. And I'm not trying to be a pessimist or a dick. It's just most publishers, startups don't last. And they're lasting. So I have to make a decision at the end of the year. Keep collecting or just finish up the year. I haven't decided yet. Still working on it. And these are a couple Wizard magazines. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep those or not. So that's it. Everything is on the shelf right now except for the Alan Moore bumper book of Magic and the last volume, the first volume, Faster City. I should have mentioned it's a 5-volume set. The first volume's up by the side of my bed. I'm reading it at night. It's a bedtime story. Okay, Fatale, Fear Agent, Flintstones, From Hell. I know the Master Edition is now available in a hardcover collection, but these have the appendices after each chapter. I kind of like it that way, so I might get those custom bound eventually too. Fun Home, which is incredibly depressing. Full Moon Soup, which is a children's book, but honestly, pick it up. You can find it on Amazon. It's great. Go Team Venture, not really a comic. God is Dead, not really a good comic. Hack Slash, which is, it's Hack Slash. It's exactly what it tries to be. It's absolutely what you think it is. Don't remember what this is. All of my Nick Fury comics, all the Garth Ennis Nick Fury comics, which also I'll bind at some point. This is not going well. I honestly have a privacy screen on my phone, so I can't always see where I'm pointing it, so I'll look back at this, and if I've missed half the shots, well, I'll have to redo it. All of Hellblazer. Not quite all of Hellboy, but quite a lot of it. I started collecting the paperbacks, and now I feel like I have to keep going with the paperbacks. So I'm skipping the hardcovers. The first Hitman Omnibus, and the rest of Hitman. And then Assorted. Oh no, this is not Assorted. This is just House of Mystery. So, which also I'll bind at some point. Possible Jones. There's been several Kickstarters. They're great comics. Sort of Bruce Timm, Batman-esque sensibility. I know I'm saying everything is just great and not really describing it, but I'm really just trying to get through this in a reasonable amount of time. It's 8 minutes now, Jesus. Injustice, which is better than you think it's going to be. Invincible. There's a team up with Invincible in here. Some Judge Dredd stuff, not quite everything. I don't know how into Dredd I am, but I'm obviously trying a bit of it. So, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which I have had bound. That's the biggest mistake I ever made with a custom bind, so I'll talk about that at some point. I'm not sure what this is. And they're kind of stuck. This is obviously a dark corner here. So, Local Man by Tim Seeley. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. I'm going to keep it or not. It's really good, but, can't bind everything. And obviously looks like I'm trying to. So, Lock and Key. I also hate where things break here. So, last Lock and Key volume being over here drives me crazy. And these spin-off one-shot books were never given deluxe treatments. Lost Girls, which, yeah, I know how problematic it is. I don't know if I'll keep that either. The Monera Erotica, I probably will keep. Those are shockingly valuable. The Madness, not sure what I'm going to do with that, but it was fun. I think this is, Money Shot. which is also Tim Seeley. I'm obviously in the bag for Tim Seeley. And then this is all the Mark Millar stuff, which I have the new stuff too in a long box. So I'm not making excuses for Mark Millar comics. I'm not saying they're, the best comics in the world, but they are fun. Hang on, Money Shot's over here. So what are you? The Max. This is the Max. Max is also awesome. So Mark Miller, then Money Shot. This is also Money Shot. And getting cramped down here. One volume of Newburn, which I probably won't keep. It's good, but I can't buy everything. Again, I know it looks like I'm trying to. Old Head, Kyle Starks. Omaha, which is another basically porno comic. It's also kind of a furry comic. I'm not a furry. Don't read into that. We can get into it some other time. Promethea. Preacher, which I only have one volume of because this was shockingly cheap. It was $30. I loved Preacher when I was 14. I don't know how I feel about it now. It's a well-executed comic. Beyond that, I don't think it matured as well as Hitman did. Or The Punisher, obviously, because I've got a ton of that. I've also got Rick and Morty comics, but sorry, moving again. Rick and Morty, mostly just the Kyle Stark stuff, and for completionist sake, things around it. Kyle Starks is also great most of the time. RoboCop versus Terminator, and beside that, Rover Red Charlie, which is a cool Garth Ennis comic. Saga, Sandman. These are all the Sandman spin-offs, Sandman Presents, the new ones and the old ones. Savage Dragon, my custom set of Savage Dragon comics. The Savage Dragon comics I have not had bound yet. And the rest of those, Sin City, that was probably the most out of shape thing I've ever done on camera. You didn't even see it, but you heard the wheeze. Great. Now the washing machine is singing. Okay. Ending with Tokyo Ghost, Swamp Thing, and 2 of 4 Tom Strong custom books in the corner there. And if you think that's a weird place to stop, well, that's because it didn't. At one point, I thought about having another shelf here, but now there's a baby changing platform there because there's a baby coming. Which brings us to this faux gun cabinet, which has 2 shelves, deep ones, of comics that I'm thinking about either keeping or selling. I'm not going to go through those right just now. A lot of these I haven't read, or I read a long time ago, or I just wanted to read, or I bought because they were cheap, or I bought because I was stupid. So we'll get back to them. And then here's the continuation. The other Tom Strong volumes, Tomorrow Stories, Top 10, a few volumes, Transmetropolitan, the first compendium of Unwritten, and then the rest of Unwritten. And down here, there's a bunch of comics that I'm going to sell. And that's not it either. This awesome volume is in another video. And it's sort of on hold for Tim Seeley. Supposedly he's going to make me a commission in trade for it. If that doesn't happen pretty soon, though, that's going on eBay. I obviously like Tim Seeley, but I also hate waiting. And I'm not sure that the one overpowers the other. So we'll see. Yeah, so aside from those individual issues I'm selling, there's also these. So these aren't usually in here. I brought these out just so everything looked a little neater. These are just thrown in there, wherever they'll fit. Yeah, so those are all on sale as well. And what you don't see here, I mean, there's a lot you can't quite see. I also have a huge stack of Wildstorm comics that I'm either going to bind or get rid of. Once again, haven't quite decided. And I guess that's about it. So I'm going to check this back and see if you can actually see, anything I've tried to show you. And if I have, I'm going to upload it, and you can listen to me say and make probably throat sounds and groan as I get down on my knees. And Jesus, I don't I don't know how many more of these I'm going to make. If I need to do a better job, I might quit. So we'll see. But people were asking, so there you go. And if there are follow-up questions about specific sets, whoa, I almost fell on my ass. Okay, so I forgot the treadmill was there. So yeah, okay.